Hi guys, so as stated before in previous videos, you guys can probably tell already what it's going to be. We're going to do a very dramatic smoky eye that is very dramatic, and I of course wanted to use my Tartelette palette, which is actually going to be the beginning of my Tartelette palette series that I have talked about for so long, and I am finally getting the time and putting the time aside to actually get it done. So this is the first look that I came up with. It is really simple. All of the eyeshadows I use are actually inside of the palette, and it's really easy to follow along. Really quick, if you guys have smaller eyes, you definitely don't have to put black eyeliner. I think I say that inside the video, but I just wanted to do another disclaimer. And if you're not into the whole smoked out bottom lash line, you can totally opt out for that as well and just do a little bit of smoke. But because I have lines under here, I feel like I can actually go down a little bit lower than the average everyday woman. So yes, that is pretty much it. I really don't have a lot to say because it's actually really late and I'm just blabbing away to myself. Well, not technically to myself, but I'm just blabbing away, and I actually want to watch a movie and I'm just jibber-jabbering, and yeah. So without further ado, if you guys are interested in how to achieve this look that I have going on, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Alrighty, so to be starting off this look, we're going to use my Dr. Lip Nipple Butter Balm, I think it's called, and we are placing it all over my lips because my lips have been really dry lately. Next, I'm applying my Hourglass Mineral Veil Foundation Primer, and I'm placing that all over my face because I want my makeup to last forever. And guys, this primer is absolutely amazing. Conceals a lot of redness, and it also makes anything and everything you put on top of it water resistant. I am sorry that I am so close to the camera. I had no idea. Next time, hopefully I won't be so close. So next, I am taking my Maracuja Creaseless Concealer by Tarte Cosmetics, and as you guys can tell, this concealer is totally a little bit darker than my skin tone. However, I like to place that right under my eyes just to really conceal like that darkness, because it does contain a color corrector in it. And then I'm just gonna take my raggedy old beauty blender that I really need to like change out, and I am just using that to blend out the concealer, and of course it is damp. Now for foundation, I will be mixing two foundations. I am taking the Veil foundation from Hourglass and then mixing it with the True Match from L'Oreal. I totally love the Veil by itself. Don't get me wrong, I am obsessed with it. The only thing is that it's a little bit too dark for me. So I like to mix it with the L'Oreal because the L'Oreal has more of a yellowy undertone, which is what I need for my skin tone. That's pretty much all that it is. It doesn't add any coverage or anything like that. I mean, mixing them together looks flawless, but I really only use it to make it more of a yellow tone because it's not summertime yet, and I think that's more of like a summer color. After that, as you guys can see, we are actually going to be grooming our brows, and I'm not going to really run through this too much. All I am doing is running a spoolie, brushing them through because I have really coarse brow hairs. And then I am taking my Tarte angle brush that you guys know I love so much because I just said it in my favorites video. And I am taking a gray eyeshadow, believe it or not. And this is actually the shade M2 or something like that from the Smashbox Exposure palette. But I really prefer to use the Copper Plate eyeshadow from MAC, and I place that into my brows just to have it look a little bit more natural than super drawn in, even though I do like really drawn in brows. I'm going for more of a lighter version of like fuller brows. You guys get what I'm saying? So I'm just filling them in, following my natural shape, and then I spoolie them like usual. After that, I'm going to be cleaning up with my foundation, and I'm taking the L'Oreal True Match foundation with a really small detailed brush. And you can use concealer if you want. I've been actually just opting in for leftover foundation just so that it doesn't look so carved out but clean at the same time. And then you just want to go ahead and blend out any excess foundation. After that, we are pressing into our eyelids the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer just to create a nice sticky base. Eyeshadows, we are going into our Tartelette palette by Tarte, and the first shade that we're actually going to take is called Natural Beauty, and we are going to be placing that all over our lids, all into our crease with a nice soft fluffy brush. This is actually going to add as our semi-transitional shade, and it's going to really round out the eye shape to prepare us for the other eyeshadows. Now, I am really focusing that transitional shade into that inner corner as well and buffing it as I go, just so that I can really enhance the roundness of my eyes. If you ladies have natural round eyes, congratulations. You probably don't need to spend this much time on it, but because I have almond shaped hooded all over the place eyes, I really need to focus on that. After that, ladies and gents, we are going to be taking the shade Best Friend, which is that purple next to it inside the palette, and with a denser brush I am going to place that shade right into my crease and really carving out that eye shape that I really want to create. And this is going to add some more depth, but really just carve out, and this will add a nice transitional as well, because once we add the dark color, you'll see it'll all manifest together. Again, we're just doing that right onto the other eye, started from the outer corner and really digging into that inner corner and outer corner to really soften it. Well, not soften it, but really just carve it out to really create that circle shape, and then do a softer transition in the middle, because the middle I don't have a problem with the roundness of my eye. After that, we are just going to buff out those two shadows together, blend them out very, very nicely just to add a nice gradient effect, and we're not waiting to the end to blend it all out. I like to blend as I go. It'll be a lot easier for you ladies too, instead of placing all them colors and then trying to blend them out later on. For the lid shade, we are taking a super dense brush, and I am taking the eyeshadow called Bombshell. Now, Bombshell is this beautiful deepened blackened plum, and it is so pretty. It is more of a cooler tone purple as well. So for ladies that have brown eyes like me, it is it is really going to make your eyes look really glowy, and they're gonna make them pop and look fierce and just so awesome. And if you are someone that don't have a lot of lid space, or you don't like the look of reverse smoky eyes, you guys can always place it into the outer corner and then place a lighter shade onto the lid. It's all up to your preference, but I like to go really boom bow bow, so that's why I took this eyeshadow and decided to place it. Now, you really want to pack it on gently and build it up to your preferred intensity, because if not, it is going to fall all over the place and it can get really, really patchy. So just make sure you have a sticky base as well when applying this eyeshadow. Next, you guys can just see me going back and forth with these two same eyeshadow brushes, and I'm just blending as I go, just so that it's not so harsh later on. After that, we actually placed the eyeshadow called Free Spirit, which is another matte shadow in the palette, and it is more of like a skin tone yellow base highlight. And I'm just placing that right under my brows just to help really clean that area up and brighten it up, because you guys can see before applying that eyeshadow it looked a little bit dark, so I just went back in and re-highlighted it and then just buffed that out together, and it transitioned all of those shades together nicely just so that it's not so high onto the brown. After that, we're going to be taking the Black Amazonian Clay Pot by Tarte as well. And guys, I really tried to stay in focus for this, but it is just such a disaster trying to film doing wing liner on camera. I'm still getting the hang of this camera as well, so we'll see. But this side was a complete disaster. Bottom lash line, we took that same deepened plum shade called Bombshell, and we just placed that right onto the lash line. And I'm sorry, but I kind of lost the clip. And then I did it to its thickness that I preferred. And then I mixed the shade Best Friend and Natural Beauty and just buffed that under eye out just so that it wasn't so harsh. And yes, I already cleaned up with some concealer and there's powder sitting on there. So yeah, I did it off camera just to not bore you guys that much. But I'm just buffing it and taking that time to do that. And then I'm swiping off any excess powder. Next, going in with my Anastasia contour kit, I took the shade, I believe it's called Fawn. And I'm just adding some like contour to my cheeks. You guys know the drill with this. We're just contouring the cheeks, and then I'm adding that to the hollows of the cheekbones, onto my forehead, and onto my nose once this clip is done. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I did. You guys can contour anywhere you prefer. This is basically what I did. And then after that, we took a much smaller brush and contoured my nose. And of course, we're gonna blend this out. I've been having a really heavy hand for contouring the nose. But next, I am taking the shade Banana from Anastasia, and then we are going to just place that right under my eyes for added brightness. Sorry, I had to sneeze for a second. And just highlighting a little bit more just because I didn't want it to look super dark under my eyes. When you do super dark looks like this, it could tend to make your under eye area look really, really dark, which is not a good thing. And with a nice fluffy brush, we are just going in and blending out that contour on my nose, which kind of felt like it took forever. And then I just went back in with my nose to really keep blending that out as well. Because under these lights, seriously, my contour looks so like overly done. For blush, we are taking the shade Celebrated by Tarte. And you guys already know that I am like totally obsessing over this blush. And it is just amazeballs. So amazing. You guys really, really need to pick it up. And then once we are done applying our clown cheeks, we are going to take the Tarte Amazonian Clay mattifying pressed powder, and I'm taking that onto the rest of my face to help set my foundation and to help clean up under that contour and blush, to really just intensify like the contour a little bit, but clean it up, and then to just buff everything together. Adding a nice pressed sheer powder like this all over your skin is going to give it that like airbrush like filtered effect. So that's why it did that. Then for highlight, I took my Ethereal Lighting Powder by Hourglass, and you guys know that I love this. Just placing it right into the highest points of my cheekbones, onto my nose, and onto my Cupid's bow. I love these powders. And then with a nice soft, well not soft, but a small pencil brush. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm all over the place. And guys, can you tell by my voice? Yes, I am sick again. This is crazy. This is like the third time in a month's period. I have no idea what's going on. But I'm just placing it right into that inner corner to really brighten that up, just so that it's not so closed off with all of that darkness that we got going on. I'm setting my brows with the Tarte Color Clay Tinted Brow Gel in Brown Black, and this was really hard to do with my hair all loose. I guess that's why we clip our hair back. I don't know why I left it loose like that, but yeah, that's all that I'm doing is setting my brows. And then we are setting everything with the Infallible Setting Spray by L'Oreal. After that setting spray was done and finished, we went back in and added some black eyeliner. This is the Makeup Forever eyeliner, and I'm placing that right into my waterline. Again, if you have super small eyes, you can totally opt out for this and instead use a nude liner if you prefer. And If you just don't like black eyeliner, then don't add black liner. Or you can always use a purple liner, which is really, really nice, like a deepened purple in case you don't like black, because I know black can sometimes be a little bit hard. After that, we are taking some mascara, and I am taking the Better Than Sex mascara, which has actually been my favorite, and I am so obsessed. But I did not mention it in my favorites, which is actually really ridiculous because it was sitting right there. But this mascara has been my life, guys. Yes, it's been like my life, and it's okay on the bottom lashes. It makes them look thick and full. So after trying like 1,000,001 lip products, I didn't know what I wanted to go with. So I'm just adding some concealer onto my lips because they were like on fire. And then I just decided to opt in for a nude lip, and this is the Patent Lip Pencil from MAC, and this came out with the Sharon Osbourne collection. It's called Innocent, pretty much a nude lip, and I placed that all over my lips, and then I topped that off with the Urban Decay Naked lip gloss, and I believe Obsessed, I think it's called, either Obsessed or Love Child or something, I don't know, I'll list it down below. It just added a nice pop of pink to it. So ladies and gentlemen, that sums up this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below what are your thoughts. Let me know what other looks you guys would like to see. And until then, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And I shall talk to you guys later. Bye.